ورسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول كل بدعة ضلالة.
نعم. Jazakumullah khair. Definitely one of our brothers made mention of the issue of what we mentioned about jihad and that which is popularly known about Daesh and ISIS. That of course, Ikhwan, Daesh and ISIS and these jihadi groups are not and do not represent jihad as Allah Azza wa Jal has legislated it. Neither are they representative of mainstream Orthodox Sunni Islam. Rather, their belief and their orientation is nothing but a deviated misconstruing of the text of the book and the Sunnah, claiming that Allah Azza wa Jal had commanded all of the believers to fight and to spill the blood of non-Muslims regardless of who they are and where they are, and that the blood of the non-Muslim should be spilled wherever able and whenever one is possible, whenever one is able to do so, and wherever possible. That, ayyuhal ikhwa, is nothing but batil, is nothing but falsehood. Anyone who studies the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you will find that that which is related to his participation in any military expedition, it was from the most noble and from the most beautiful form of repelling evil with that which may necessitate something from a military expedition. And as we mentioned, ayyuhal ikhwa, it is from foolishness for us to have a state, and the Messenger had a state, for us to have a state and there is nothing legislated in relation to how the military of that state interacts, military expeditions, and interacts or deals with aggression, from foreign forces. And so that which we have in the book of Allah Azza wa Jal are the rules and regulations and legislation in relation to when there is military aggression, how it is to be dealt with. And so verses such as smite them at their necks, it is not a command for every believer to do that at every opportunity. That is Allah Azza wa Jal mentioning when there is a military expedition, that is, don't play with them. Smite them, fight fiercely. And that is the objective when there is a military expedition. And not that those verses are absolute. Whenever you're able to smite them at the neck, smite them. That is not what Allah Azza wa Jal has legislated. But when it does occur, then your fighting should be fierce. And that is present within any military manual in any land, whether it is the land of the Muslimun or the land of the non-Muslim. Their military manuals, all of them, from the earliest time, Sun Tzu and the art of war. What is it that from the first of the principles that he mentioned from the art of war is that the best war is the one that finishes quickly, the one that is over quickly and is won quickly. How are you going to win a war quickly if you're not going to smite fiercely? It's smiting. And so Allah Azza wa Jal, when that has been legislated, and its legislation is that it is to be done with swiftness, efficiently, and that it is over. And it is not a legislation of continual bloodshed. And that as we Muslims, we love the spilling of blood, bloodthirsty. This is not the characteristic of the believer, ayyuhal ikhwa. And one of the clearest evidences is what we mentioned last week. The man who found the messenger sleeping under a tree, and he took his sword, unsheathed it, and said, "Who will protect you from me?" 3 times. And each time the Prophet ﷺ said, "Allah." Second time, "Who will protect you from me?" "Allah." Third time, "Who will protect you from me?" "Allah." And then Allah paralyzed the hand of the man. Prophet ﷺ took his sword and said, "And who will protect you from me?" And so he said, "Oh Muhammad, couldn't be good in your manner of taking retribution." And so the Prophet ﷺ didn't harm him. He brought him to his companions and he informed them of that which occurred. He didn't harm him. Could have tied him up, tortured him, slowly cut him limb from limb to watch his blood spew. How dare you try and attack the messenger? But the Prophet ﷺ didn't touch him. And so if the affair, ayyuhal ikhwa, was just about the Muslims being bloodthirsty, then you would find many examples of that in the book of Allah. But yes, when fighting is necessary, then we have instruction from Allah Azza wa Jal how the fighting and how the combat will be efficient and will be over with swiftness. And that is to smite fiercely when the battle commences. And so, to be clear, ayyuhal ikhwa, this affair, of course, we're going to come to the ahkam of jihad and the rulings of jihad in bi'idhnillah in Umdatul Ahkam. And so we'll look in some detail about it, since it is an important issue, and since it is oftentimes used to demonize the Muslimun, we'll look in some detail at the ahkam of jihad and the various rulings. And then you'll see how oppressed the Muslimun are by them claiming, or by the enemies of Islam claiming, that Islam is just a bloodthirsty religion that preaches and teaches the spilling of the blood of and taking the life of the non-Muslim. Ahkam, beautiful rulings related to not touching and killing women, not touching children, not killing men of religion, not even cutting down trees, from the ahkam of the jihad of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But we'll come to that inshallah when we look at it and when we reach it in its place. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam.